Real quick before we start designing this box for you guys, man, so we have these speaker rings, and these are actually ready for, you know, someone to use them to fiberglass something, man. So honestly, if we can get at least 100 likes and comment that you like the video, I will pick somebody out the comment section and send these out to you guys. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a car audio lover, make sure to hit that like button, comment that you liked the video, and next video I'll actually just pick someone randomly from the comment section, and I'll send these rings out for you guys to do some fiberglass work. You can use spacers for your factory door speakers, whatever you want to use these guys for, man. They're gonna be for you. What to do? What's good, Mousetrap Gang, man? Welcome back to another video, man. I'm out here in the sun real quick. Needed some fresh air. If you watched yesterday's video, man, I just did a quick you know, recap of the installs that we did last month, and you know, as you can see from the beginning of that video, your boy accidentally hit delete on all the footage that I had recorded yesterday. Man, it was horrible, real horrible. I really hated myself yesterday for doing that, but we're here re-recording the video for you guys. I do hope if you guys enjoyed the footage from yesterday. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, man, because we do builds like that. We're going to continue doing builds like that, man. So I hope to see you guys commenting, hitting that subscribe button, and definitely turn all the notifications on, man. Definitely turn them on. We are going to continue with the design of the Silverado, and let's get into today's video, man. Trap Gang, welcome back to another video. I'm actually in the bed of my truck, and I am neatly folding up the leather cover. So I can see, oh, okay, look, it looks pretty cool. Because I just wanted to see what it would look like once it's like really neatly folded up. So how much space we got to work with whenever we build the side panels. And I've never really actually rolled it up neatly. So, oh dang, look. And we got some straps. Okay, that's really awesome. Oh, okay, I see what it do. Okay. I never really actually messed with it like I just did right now. Okay, so for today's video, we are actually gonna be doing the written design of the box, the specs, and if we can try to do cut lists, we'll go ahead and do it. I'm not really much too worried about the cut list right now. I just want to go ahead and make the design and show you what we got going on for it. So basically, we only really have one way of doing it, building the box, so we can get the shape and the design and the airspace that we're trying to, you know, achieve with this. So like I said, basically we're just trying to stay like inside before the wheel wells inside here, so we still have all this extra space open. And we're gonna do like the face with the plexiglass, and then we're gonna do like side panels right here that's gonna hold like probably like 2/8 and a tweeter, but at crazy angles, so they're firing out sideways. And you know, like I mentioned in one of the other videos from last week, we're gonna do side panels along here with speakers firing out. But you know, we're gonna add our little Mousetrap Gang twist to it to make them look very nice, and we are gonna Line-X everything. Line-X is the company that actually does them around here, and I'm pretty sure they got Line-X everywhere else, but you know, we're gonna rhino line them and make them look really good so it looks nice and black. Right here, it doesn't look too bad, but if we can give it a refresh, I'm obviously going to get a new one of these bed pieces, tailgate pieces on it, just so it gives that new look whenever we finish the system. So, like I said, I pretty much want to do a really big opening, which is going to be like 30 by 5. So the way that we are going to design this box, we really need the port side to be really wide, so we can be able to get that clearance for the port, man. So let's go inside right now and let's design the box. So finally, let's start designing this box, man. I've been dying to design this box. I actually designed the box yesterday, man, but your boy deleted all the footage. Every single clip that we had did for this video, man. Your boy really messed up, and we deleted it, and it was really, really sad. Never fear, Mousetrap is here. So let's get into it real quick, and let me show you what I got going on. So I actually do have my reference from yesterday. But we're just going to put that to the side because we're going to work with a fresh sheet of paper. And, you know, so we can actually do it as we go, because I can show you what I did yesterday, but that's not even the point. So we're just gonna go ahead and use it for today. Quick, man. 12volt.com is where I always go to figure out my airspace and everything that I need, man. So make sure you guys go ahead and use that as much as possible. Some people probably use it already, some people don't, but it's a very good website to use whether you're wiring subs, figuring out relays, slot port calculator, box calculator. I mean, it has it all. It definitely has it all. Okay, real quick, so stuff we need to know to make this box design. Total cube feet that we need is 10.5 cubes for everything total, and that includes ported chamber and sealed chamber. So obviously we need 4 cubic feet for the sealed chamber where the subs are going to be going at. Ported is where the release from the sub sound going through the port inside the cab. We need 6 cubic feet, and then the port I believe was almost like I think like 0.3, 0.4. So I'm just going to go ahead and write the port dimensions, what we need right here. The port, it needs to be 150 square inches, 10 inches deep. But the port that I actually want is 30 by 5 by 10 because I really want a wide port. I always see a lot of people just do like one big square port, or just like really one, normal looking port. Man, I want something wide going across the bottom of that firewall, man, because I want that thing to just like slam inside there. This is just a quick rough draft, like I told you guys. I think I'm just gonna do a quick average BANDPASS blow through box. We're gonna do the subs 2 firing at each other and 2 firing forward into the port, but we want a nice little like baby tunnel from sub to the front of the box, so it gives it time to like load up and really like shoot pure bass, you feel me? And with putting the subs back as far as possible, like to me it reduces a lot of the cone noise that you'd hear, and it gives it just time just to really build up and just release some like really good sounding bass and like aggressive like wind air that we need. But so much has to come into play in order for us to achieve the bass that we want, and obviously we want that 30 by 5 10 inches deep port, man, because we want this thing to be beaten. The width of the box is going to be like 56, depth is 23, and height is 17. And originally the 17 was actually 20, but since we put the 3/4 inch floor and we want to stay underneath certain parts of the truck because we don't want side panels to be real gaudy high and looking really ugly, so we're just going to try to really put this box as low as possible, because at the end of the day, like say this is the top view, I am going to cut a window out right here through where we can load the subs in through here, so we can mount them inside the box, and then it's going to get probably like a double or a triple stack layer lid on it, because we're going to do a massive brace inside the box as well in here that's going to really hold down that top lid, because it's going to be producing bass, and we don't want this thing to be like wobbling or losing flex and us losing pressure. So obviously we really need some good braces, and we're actually going to do some nice braces like right here. We're going to do a nice angle brace like from here to here, same thing right there, and then between the subs we're going to do a massive brace right there, and one with the center to really hold the box in place. I am not technically going to do this box doubled layer because it's only 412s. We're only going to put 4,000 watts to it. I just feel that if we use real good wood, 3/4 of course, brace her up to the max, I think it should uphold pretty good, and the amount of power, 4,000 watts, should be more than enough for it to really give us the bass that we want. Real quick, so I'm gonna start off using those Sundown E series subs, the E12, because for a few reasons. Number one, I really want to test those guys out and see what they really do in a real deal like BANDPASS box with 4,000 watts. Number two, I want to see how much power those guys can actually hold, because we did put a 3,000 watts on them already, but I felt that they were still like power hungry, man. Those things, I never heard no distortion, and we actually turned them gains up pretty good, and I never really heard no distortion. So those things, I feel like they could actually really take the 4,000 watts. Number three, why we're gonna do these subs, they're very inexpensive, and if one were to blow, man, we can just replace that guy, you know, at the same time, or you know, we can buy like 2 or 3 extra subs and take us with us to shows. Because the top of the lid is going to be very accessible, so we can swap those guys out and get back in the game to, you know, keep putting on a show for the people wherever we go. So we just always keep jamming, unless we blow a fuse or amp something, then we're, you know, really in a pickle. And the very last reason why I'm gonna do these subs and I'm only gonna put 4,000 watts on it is because, you know, this is my daily, guys. You know, the kids ride in it, you know, but the kids like the music, like I said, but I don't want my AC box to get messed up, you know, crazy flex where stuff's falling apart and everything. So I really still need this truck to do its normal day job, taking these kids to school, picking up plants from Home Depot, the groceries and everything. But, you know, but we still want, you know, a good grocery getter to be jamming when we pull up to Walmart, man. Okay, real quick, you know, we actually took some specs for from the sub. So obviously, you know, the sub is a 12-inch sub, but overall height, or overall width, that was really bad. But okay, look, that thing is tripping. Maybe I need some light or something. Okay, well, anyways, so the sub that we are gonna use, the face of it overall is 13 inches. You know, me personally, whenever I build a box, I actually always like the baffle that I'm doing the subs in. Say if the sub is 13 overall height, I really like to use that baffle. I really like that baffle to really be like 14 inches. So it just has nice compressed chamber, tunnel, whatever you want to call it. So it really like squeezes that bass and just makes it just really like pound. Because I feel like if you just have so much, it doesn't give it that much to like really compress the, like, it's one thing bass playing like this and another thing like the bass playing like this. And if it just like continuous bass, like squeeze, forcing it out through that port, man, that thing is gonna just pound, guys. That thing is just gonna like viciously pound. So I always really like to use as much compact baffle that we can. But since, you know, we got 17 and we need to figure out airspace and we're trying to stay in a certain level, we're just gonna go with it. You know, it should still be fine at the end of the day. But me personally, I really like using those compressed baffles because to me it really produces some serious bass. But so then, from the bottom of the top of the face to the back of the magnet, the depth of the speaker is 6 1/4. So we really have a good amount of room to play with to, you know, countersink the baffle in, so it can give us a really big wide opening, like in this, you know, in the ported side of the box, because I really like a lot of air inside the ported chamber. We are gonna actually figure out our airspace. So what I actually do is, like, I'll pretend that I'm doing this, you know, 3 separate chambers. But, you know, if this box was going inside a trunk, I would build it in like 4 different pieces. Would be the floor, two side chambers, the between chamber, and then the lid, to be able to fit it in the trunk. And, you know, I would build something like this in the trunk, and that's when we would really compress the baffles to really, you know, produce a lot. But since we're doing a truck box, all the airspace is going to be shared. But I like to figure out separate areas of airspace so I know my airspace is right, and it's just easier for me this way. Yes, we can probably figure out airspace, you know, just doing all kinds of crazy dimensions, but I really suck at math. I've really just stuck to doing my math for boxes like this. It's always worked, and I'm just going to continue doing this like this. Because, you know, I already know exactly what to do and what numbers to crunch, so I make sure I got all my airspace I actually need. Alright, so before we get started, let's just crunch down some real quick numbers. So obviously for our sub to fit, this chamber, at least here, needs to be at least 6 1/4. But obviously I don't want it to just have the magnet laying on, like, the motor, if that's what you guys want to call it, the magnet like really up close to the back baffle. If it was really up there, what I would do is I would cut a big enough opening so the magnet really is like flush with the back piece, and then obviously do a piece of wood like right here just covering up, just so it's like countersink in. But I really don't see the need to do that because we have so much area to work with. So we're just gonna pretty much have the back of the motor like maybe like a 1/2 inch from the back of the box. So let's see what number it gives us to give us a 1/2 inch clearance. So we're just going to go ahead and say the sub is 6.5 deep plus 1.5 because that's the thickness of our wood. So really we need this depth to at least be 8 inches so we can at least be able to put the sub in there and still give us a 1/2 inch from the back of the magnet to the back of the box, so it still has room for her to breathe if it has like that opening on the magnet. Or I mean, I just really like to just play it safe like that because I'm not going to try to drown out the motor and really have a lot of like a big ass heat wall right here. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't really know if those motors get really hot like that, but you know, we really need that sub to like really be nice and relaxed inside the box and do what it got to do under, you know, the power, and you know, getting those coils nice and hot after them things are beaten. To show you guys real quick how much airspace exactly is inside that whole box, let's just go ahead and crunch the numbers inside here so we can see what we got to work with. Okay, so the overall dimensions of the whole box, you know, before baffles or anything, 56 width, height 17, depth 23, thickness of wood 0.75 equals 10.5 cubes. So this right here is 10.5. And I told you, you know, let's just go ahead and show you real quick, and just so we know, just to, you know, refer to. Okay, so the overall width of the, let's see, let's do some math real quick. 5 plus 1.5 equals, okay, so obviously the width of the port is going to be 30. The height, because, you know, due through volumes and measurements and everything, you know, the height of the port is going to be 6.5. The depth is going to be 10 inches long, and thickness of wood obviously 0.75. So our port is actually 0.7. So honestly we need 0.7 for the port. So with that being said, the full box 1 inch, you know, bigger, just to see what it does for us. 17, depth 24.75 equals, okay, so honestly, look, you see it? So doing the box 1 inch bigger actually got us to 10.9, which is really awesome. That is really, 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 really good. But I still feel that's just, it's not a big issue, but we really just need to try to stay in our radius. If we can squeeze 10.8, you know, out of it, I mean, we'll just stick with this 10.9 just because after braces, etc., we're just gonna go ahead and use that number. So you see how fast things can change when you really start, you know, really doing the final design and start crunching numbers. And like I said, we may design this right now, but when we actually start building it, this should stay pretty much like 90%. But we may have to, you know, do some modifications here and there, just because, you know, when you start building, it's a whole different thing. But if we design a really good box and stick to our plan, we should really just going forward with it and not have to change nothing. So let's really carefully design the box so that, you know, we stick to our master plan and make sure we got the best, because this is gonna be the one. Got that figured out. Let's go ahead and start figuring out how much airspace is in this chamber right here. So obviously we need at least 8 inches width to clear our sub and to give us that 1/2 inch from the back of the magnet to the back of the box, so it has like breathing room, you feel me? So let's go ahead and put these numbers, and let's see, 24.75. Okay, that gave us 1.3. So now what we're gonna actually do is, so we got 1.3 times 2 equals, so putting both of these chambers together, it gives us a total of 2.6. Now minus 1.0, so that gives us, in this chamber we need to get at least 1.4 cubic feet to make sure we have the 4 cubes that we need. Now what we need to do, so we need to figure out 56 subtract 16 equals, so pretty much our inner baffle where the subs that are going to be going fired, it's going to be like 40 inches. So we now need to figure out the airspace from here inside this chamber to, you know, equal up the airspace that we need. So 40 inches is going to be, you know, from baffle to baffle, and that way we can still get our 30 wide port that we need. So that's very important. We know that 40 is our inner number, and we know exactly how much airspace we need to figure out. We're just going to crunch the number just to clear the subs to see what kind of airspace it gives us. Since our sub is actually 6 1/4, so let's actually do 6.25 plus 1.5. Let's see what number it gives us. 7 3/4. So let's see what this does for us. 40. 7.75 .75 equals 2.15. So that actually gives us 2.15. Let's add that up real quick. Okay, so as you can see, it actually gives us 4.75 cubes, and that's actually still a little bit. You know, if we can try to get at least like 4.2, 4.3, that'd still be pretty good, because we still got to take braces into consideration and stuff like that. So let's keep crunching these numbers. So we're actually gonna we played with the depth a little bit. So actually our new depth is gonna be 23.25, 23 1/4, and with the depth being 7.5 of this guy. So let's draw a new little box, because this is what's actually going to work for us. I just crunched some quick numbers, and now let me show you guys the quick little box design. So our new calculated airspace is 56 wide, 23 1/4 inch deep, 17 inches high, and that actually gave us a pretty good reading of the airspace. So now let's take this number out of here, because it changed again. So let's do it again for you guys. So we'll do 56, height 17. The height's always going to stay the same. 0.325.75 equals 10.6. So that gives us pretty much still good enough airspace that we need, and which is a lot better number. Dimension from the baffle that we need, using 7.75. This inner chamber actually gives us 1.21 cubic feet, and obviously this one right here as well, 7.75, gives us 1.21 cubic feet. Okay, so that leaves us with this inner chamber, which is going to be 40 1/2. But you know, when we actually do the actual math, you know, it's going to give us a good number, because it actually gave us some pretty good numbers that are doable. So now let's do 40 1/2, 17, because it never changes, and depth 7.75, thickness of wood 0.75 equals 2.18. Now when we actually do the math, let's do the math real quick on the old calculator. 1.21 times 2, because those are the outside chambers, gives us 2.42 cubes. And once we add the rear chamber, the side-to-side one, it gives us 2.18. And that's how much airspace we have altogether for the sealed side, 4.6, which is pretty good, because after we include magnets, lots of braces, and all the good stuff in it, that gives us pretty good enough airspace. So that's actually going to be our ending result numbers that we're going to use from this. So from here to here, 7.75, because overall this gives us 4.6 cubic feet, and that's really awesome numbers. Awesome. Let's see how much cubic feet is left over. So the box gave us 10.6, subtract 4.6, man, it gives us 6 cubes, which is pretty good. You know, I'm not even gonna lie, it's pretty good. It gives us pretty much to work with. It should not change the sound of the box. I really feel that it's more important to have good airspace in the rear chamber than in the front chamber, because the ratio of the subs, it gives us plenty enough to work with, and it should be pretty good. It's going to sound really decent. I was just really more concerned to having not too much airspace in the back in the sealed section, because I feel like the sealed section, where it really needs to have the airspace, is really more important to make those speakers, you know, play the ranges that we're trying to look for. So I really feel that we are actually dead on with this. It's going to be a good box. It's going to be a very good box. And most important thing, the depths of the magnets are going to be pretty good. And, you know, it's going to be a nice solid. And like I always say, man, you know, this is not a professional shop, man. We're doing stuff at home. We're showing you real deal obstacles that we got to go through, and circumstances, and, you know, biting the bullets on some things to be able to make sure we get a good box out of her. You may see all these other YouTube channels, not to knock them or anything, but they just show them cutting the wood. There's only like the EXO guy that I've seen him designing a box, and he changed some stuff up along the way. But you know, all the other YouTube channels, I just see them just cutting up wood, putting the pieces together, and, you know, just here in the box. But they really didn't go in depth of like designing stuff and show you what the real deal raw and uncut footage looks like of designing this box. And sometimes, you know, where they have to pinch here and there to make sure to get the airspace. And, you know, that's what we did today. And, you know, we're just going to go forward with it. It's going to be a great build. It's going to look awesome, and we're going to get it done. And, you know, we are doing plexiglass in this box. You know, you're going to be able to see the back of the box, the back of the magnet. So we're going to do some real nice braces for inside the box, and to hold the plexiglass so we don't hear a lot of plexiglass noise. And so that thing is just getting it like good, and it looks awesome. So, man, we still got a lot to go, guys. Tomorrow's video, we're going to do the cutlass on the same design that we did, so you guys can understand and see how the cutlass works, because numbers do change when you start doing the cutlass. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Once again, like the video and comment that you liked the video, and I will be picking up somebody to win these rings, so you guys can have at it, router them out, use them for spacers for your speaker installs, or if you want to, you know, take a dab at doing some fiberglass, man. These things are awesome. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.